Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm getting ready for the day while testing out some new beauty products, including the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Eyeshadow Palette, which has been a hot commodity to say the least. I checked right before I sat down and it looks like it is back in stock at Sephora. I'm also going to take you through my new brow tutorial using a new brow product, and that is where we will begin. For anyone out there who's looking for a budge-free brow product, this is for you. I'm starting with brows today because I'm using the Wonder Skin Wonder Blading Dream Brow. It's a long wear gel serum. It's a really interesting texture. I played around with this a couple times off camera. Gives a very beautiful natural brow result, but it has a very specific application technique. So I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm using shade Brunette. Inside the box you get the Wonder Blading Dream Brow Gel Serum and a double-sided brush. It has an angled application brush, and then on the other side is a spoolie. What makes the gel serum different is that it features color locking technology for extreme long wear and vegan silk powders for instant volume, so it's transfer free, budge proof, and waterproof. It's also infused with the Healthy Brow Complex, which has keratin, biotin, and hyaluronic acid. This kit was sent to me complimentary, and I've partnered with Wonder Skin to share this tutorial with you. I've scooted in nice and close so you can see what I'm doing. You want to apply this to clean, dry skin, so avoid using moisturizer in the brow area. And I'm going to begin by just filling in the sparse areas of the brow. Once you've finished a section, you can brush through with your spoolie to evenly distribute. I don't have a lot of hairs down here at the bottom because I overplucked. And the great thing is, this is going to fill them in, and it's going to last. You can sweat, you can be active, you can be outside, you can go swimming. You can do any activity you could imagine, and these brows are not going to budge. Now for the front of the eyebrow, I'm going to pick up my little angled brush, take a little bit of the gel, and again I'm going to wipe off any excess. I'm going to use the brush to be even more precise and fill in the front. Now you can clearly see the before and the after. Right now the after side is looking a little bit too bold and a little bit dark because I have a bare face. It's going to look much better once I finish the rest of my makeup, but I think the key is to just fill in the bulk of the brow, anything that you know you're definitely going to fill in because it is so long lasting and waterproof. Sweat resistant, it's not going to budge. This color, the shading that we have here, is not going anywhere. This is how I wish my brows were naturally. If only I could wake up in the morning and my brows were already done. Because it is budge proof, you do have to be pretty careful with the application. You want to make sure that less is more. It's better to go in and only fill in the sparse areas, and then you can always go back and kind of tweak them later on. But I absolutely love the bold brow. Moving on to the rest of the eyes, I carved out my brows a little bit using this NARS concealer. This is the shade Medium 1.5 Toffee. I think this is the one I normally use, yes. So this is what I generally use for the brows. I kind of use it especially for the tail of the brow to cover up my old microblading. If I ever have any blemish on the face, anything like that, I will use this. Because it's the perfect fleshy tone, I'm going to use this to prime my eyelids. We might as well do eyes first since our brows are done, so I'm picking up just a little bit of this with my Pro Concealer 57 brush. And this is going to help give us a perfectly even base so that all of these eyeshadows appear even more vibrant, and they should be more long-lasting. I want to take a moment to acknowledge how beautiful this eyeshadow palette is. I said I was done purchasing neutral palettes, but I just could not resist. I love seeing all of the tutorials on the Makeup by Mario Instagram page, and I think the website has a bunch of tutorials. So seeing the shadows in action is really what sold me on the palette. But this color story is so wearable. It's very versatile. It reminds me a lot of the Natasha Denona Glam palette. And I also found an old Tarte palette that I've yet to use that also looks similar. But this one is kind of better in a way. I just think the color combination is perfect. These are really all of the shades you need to create any eye look. It can be very natural, it can be very dramatic, you have a lot of sparkle in here. As much as I thought I was done purchasing eyeshadow palettes this year, I couldn't resist. I had to pick it up while it was on sale, 20% off. And I do think the size is a little bit better than the Natasha Denona Glam palette, which is another one of my all-time favorites. But that's not a palette I would necessarily grab to travel with. This is not so overwhelmingly large, so I kind of think the size is perfect. For a working makeup artist, this is definitely a slam dunk. I have a BK Beauty 201 brush. I'm going to start right here in this pretty tan shade, and I'm going to buff that in the crease. I have to be honest, I don't really use my Mario Master Mattes palette that often, only because I have those shades in so many other palettes, but it is a really nice palette. I like that he included mattes in this one as well. His other palettes are all sparkle, all metallic, all matte. So it's kind of nice to have one palette where you have a little bit of everything. This is the perfect soft peachy beige transition shade. Next, I'm using a Sephora Pro Crease 19 brush, and I'm going to pick up this really pretty dusty mauve. And with that, I'm going a little bit deeper in the crease. I've picked up an old Chanel eyeshadow brush. This is the Eyeshadow Blender 19. I'm not sure this exists anymore, but I still like to use it. And I'm going in the top corner to this shade. It's one of the deeper shades in the palette, but I also think the undertone goes a little bit better with this. So I'm kind of sticking in this little corner over here. With this shade, I'm going in the outer V to give a little depth. That is such a pretty color. It's a brown eyeshadow. I'm not going to be dramatic, but it's just really pretty. And I like how everything has blended together. I do think the Mario mattes are a little bit drier than some of the other really popular matte textures, other eyeshadows that you might be familiar with. So they do kick up quite a bit of product, no matter how delicate you are dipping into the pan. And I also get a little bit of fallout on the cheeks. Not a ton, but a little bit. Which is fine because we're doing eyes first. It could just be my brushes because I swear every time I watch a Mario tutorial, that doesn't happen to him. Ooh. Of course he is makeup by Mario, so. Next I'm dipping into this bottom shade. I think this is a little bit darker. I want to see, because this is the deepest shade in the palette, kind of want to see how dark we can go. I know it's supposed to be an ethereal eyeshadow palette. I really think these shadows go on a little bit lighter, or at least they blend out to be a little bit lighter. So even the deeper shades, they really shouldn't be all that intimidating. For the lid, I definitely want to do something kind of sparkly, and I think fingers will be the best way to apply these. I'm going to go right here. And from what I've seen in the videos, these go on almost like a topper. Ooh, it's so pretty though. I think I actually prefer it just because it doesn't look kind of thick on the lid. Oh my goodness, I do have a couple flecks falling on the cheek. The only base I have down is a little bit of concealer, so, you know, it's to be expected. My flat brush is picking up a lot of product, so let's see what happens. Yeah, it kind of works. I think the problem, and it's not really a problem, but the shadows are just so flaky that the sparkle is going to get everywhere. Moving on now to the face, I have a new foundation here to try. This was sent to me complimentary from Lancome. It's the Tinty Doll Ultra Wear Care and Glow Foundation. I have seen this foundation everywhere, and I've been so curious because I used to love the Tinty Doll. If you've been watching my videos for years and years and years, you know that the Lancome Tinty Doll used to be one of my holy grail foundations. And it still is, but it's been a while because I've just tried so many new formulas that I haven't used it in a while, but I've always really liked that foundation. This formula has medium to full coverage, skincare ingredients. It's supposed to last up to 24 hours and give the skin a healthy glow. I have the shade 310N. Hopefully this is the right shade. I already gave it a little shake. I'm gonna do 2 pumps. I don't think the first pump really counted. Since it's new, not that much came out. But I'm gonna apply this with my Sephora 55 brush. This is a bit fluffy for a foundation brush, and I really like it because it shears out whatever foundation you're using. Okay, I need a mirror. I wanted to make sure not to use too much product since it's a glowing foundation, just in case. I have pretty normal skin, but if I apply anything that's too oily, too dewy, too luminous, it just looks and feels really heavy. Ooh, that looks nice though. I'm being careful not to apply too much and to just let the brush kind of shear it out. Next, I'm going in with the Armani Beauty Luminous Silk Concealer. I wanted something a little bit lighter that wouldn't require a lot of setting powder. This is such a pretty concealer. It's very lightweight. I'm so excited. We're going out of town for Thanksgiving. We're going to be in Savannah. I have never been to Savannah, but we have our Thanksgiving dinner restaurant booked. The hotel looks beautiful. And we're just going to explore and have a great time. And finally, I'll have a dose of kind of cold weather, which will be nice. That's our plan for Thanksgiving. We've made it a family tradition to travel for the holidays every year. So we always pick a new place. Last year we went to Asheville, which was gorgeous. And then the years before, we went to New York every year. It's kind of nice to change it up. Look how pretty. Blend it out perfectly. I'm using the Sephora 98 brush. It's a highlighter brush, but I think it's perfect for concealer. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to take this palette with me. Why not? Has all of the colors that I would normally wear. And that way I'll get to play around with it a little bit more. The only thing I'm a little bit nervous about is that we are planning to drive at the moment. Hopefully traffic won't be too bad. I think it's only like a 7-hour, 20-minute drive, which I say only. I don't think that's unreasonable. Can be done in one day. It's going to be a long trip. And of course, we're taking Jazzy and we'll have all of our bags. We haven't had a road trip adventure in a long time. So I'm actually kind of excited about the road trip as well. I have another new product here to try. This is very exciting because it's a Brazilian beauty brand. I believe it's a Brazilian influencer's brand, Vic Beauty. It's the Stick Tudo in the shade, let's see, does it say the shade? Corada. If you saw my Get Ready to Go luxury shopping video, you know that I met one of my Brazilian subscribers, Natalia, when she was visiting Miami, and she brought me a little goodie bag with the beauty products, and this was included in the bag. And it's a multiple stick. I've, of course, never tried anything from this brand before. I'm not sure this is the perfect color for today's video or for today's look, but we're just going to try it anyways. So you can use this on eyes, cheeks, lips. It's more of a coral color. Oh, it's really pretty though. Just in case, I'm going to use a brush. Ooh. It doesn't look too coral. Actually, I think that looks really pretty. Ooh, I love it. I love trying beauty brands from different countries that aren't available in the US. In fact, if you are watching from somewhere other than the US and you have a favorite beauty brand, let me know what it is down below. Because you never know, I might be able to find it on eBay or somewhere else. I feel like there's an entire world of beauty brands that I don't even know about. Oh, that's so pretty. It blends really nicely. Before I go in with bronzer, I am going to set my face with just a little powder. I'm going to use the Chanel Loose Powder. Just a little bit. I really don't feel like I have to set the Luminous Silk Concealer. But just in case. And I do think it just looks a little bit prettier. It's not that it would crease, but I love the airbrushed kind of soft glow that this setting powder gives. And also, if the foundation ends up getting a little bit too glowy, this will help mattify a little bit. For bronzer, I'm going in with the Guerlain Terracotta Light because I am almost hitting pan on this bronzer. It's pretty old. I've had it for a long time, and it's in the top drawer. I've been using this as my everyday bronzer, and I would like to finish it. Only because I want to ensure that I get my money's worth and I actually use the products that I purchase. It's such a pretty bronzer. By applying my blush first, it ensures that I don't accidentally use too much bronzer to add color to my face. The only thing I miss about traveling every year for Thanksgiving is not having a home-cooked meal for the holiday. So one thing that I don't love, but we're usually home for Christmas, or we just cook at home for Christmas. I have a BK Beauty 207 brush, and we are going to finish the eye. So I have my Mario palette. I think I'm going to start by dipping into the mauve, and I am very lightly going to dust that beneath the lower lash line. Yeah, I think that's perfect. I was afraid that it would translate to pink, but it really doesn't. With a tapered brush, I'm going into this top matte shade right here, and I'm going to use this beneath the brow bone. I picked up a little precision brush to highlight the inner corner of the eye. I'm going into this sparkle right up here, and this is going right in the tear duct. I'm about to risk it all, but I don't have a new highlighter to try. I'm kind of curious to see what will happen. So using my finger, I picked up a little bit of that shimmer. You know, it's not terrible, but it's pretty sparkly. Yeah, I don't love that. Okay. I didn't apply too much. Who was I kidding? I'm going to go in with my Westman Atelier. This is the Peau de Rosé. As you can see, I've hit pan. I love this highlighter. It's my everyday highlighter, my special occasion highlighter. It's just my go-to. I usually apply with my fingers, and then I'll go back with a brush and I'll just make sure it blends into the skin. That way I don't accidentally have little tap marks on my cheek since it's a cream. And when you go over it with a foundation brush, just make sure that everything looks a bit more natural. It's a pink highlighter, but even still, it does look more natural when you blend with the brush. There, no tap marks. Ooh, I like the glow. And see, I really think I needed the highlighter because the Care Glow foundation, what's it called? Tinty Ultra Wear Care and Glow, is not all that glowy. And I'm not complaining because usually dewy foundations can look a greasy mess. But I actually think it's more of a natural finish. Or maybe I just didn't apply enough. Maybe I haven't worn it long enough. I don't know. But I do feel like my skin looked pretty matte before I applied the highlighter. I just did a little black liquid eyeliner on top, and I remembered that I have another mascara here to try. This was also sent to me complimentary from Wonder Skin. It's their Powerful mascara, and the wand looks really good. So we're just going to try it out. It's tapered, it's kind of hourglass, it's in hourglass tapered, it's kind of curved. I don't know how to describe it, but the wand looks amazing, so hopefully the formula is great. Oh wow. Yeah, it's really nice. Ooh, this is such a unique wand. As soon as I opened it up, because I wasn't going to use it, I opened it up and I looked at the wand and I thought, no, we have to try this. How interesting. So what I like about a curved wand is that you can get really close to the lash line. And what I like about a tapered wand is that you can get the inner lashes really easily, and this is somehow both. So it really coats every single lash. Face and eyes are now completely done, and the last step is lips. I have a brand new combination here to try. This was part of my final Sephora purchase on the very last day of the savings event. So I have this Makeup Forever lip liner. This is not the lip liner I wanted to get, but it's the one I settled for. So this is the Aqua Lip, and it doesn't have a shade listed on here. It just says 1C. I feel like the shade had a name, so if I can find it, when I look at my Sephora purchases, I will list the shade. But it's the Aqua Lip 1C. Oh, it's very smooth. I like it. Goes on really smooth. And it's just a nude lip liner. I go through lip liners pretty quickly. And I've heard really good things about the Makeup Forever. I'm just filling in my lips a little bit. And then I love this Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. This is the shade Cherry Blossom. I have white peach, and I swear I'm going to go through it because I use it every single day. So I wanted to try this other color. This looks really pretty. Maybe a little bit more pink than the white peach. They're hydrating, they're a little minty. It's like a stick lip gloss. Ooh, yeah, that's really nice. I almost prefer the Cherry Blossom. It's kind of the perfect light pink. You can wear it alone, but it looks really pretty on top of another lipstick or just lip liner. And it really plumps the lip. That looks beautiful. I love this lip combination. Ooh, I have a new favorite. I'm so happy I picked this up. It's a last minute decision. I'm so happy with the way all of these products came together, especially considering how many new products I tried today. Doesn't always happen that way, but I love this makeup look. I think I will most likely recreate this. It looks very similar to the looks I normally do. This is kind of my everyday soft glam, but I love this color combination. So I'm going to quickly go through some of these new products and share my thoughts. The Makeup by Mario palette is gorgeous. I love this color story. This isn't really a surprise. I think all of his products are very consistent, including this eyeshadow palette. Is it a must-have? No, because it's a neutral eyeshadow palette, and I think we all have this 10 times over. But I love the fact that it's all condensed into this one palette, and it's very wearable. I mean, this is the type of palette that you will get a ton of use out of. So if you don't already have something like it, I would recommend it. Otherwise, you can probably skip it and just deal with a little FOMO for a while. These brows, I know we had to trust the process, but now with everything complete, I think they look perfect. And I love the fact that they didn't budge, which isn't always the case with the brow pencil that I typically use. I like the fact that it sets the hairs in place, and of course the fact that it has skincare ingredients I think is really amazing. So I love the brow product. Like I said, I've used it a couple times off camera. I will continue to play around with it and see the best way to use it. I think my biggest surprise is the Wonder Skin Mascara. Did not expect to love this as much as I do, but the wand is so unique. I've never seen a wand like this. It's hourglass, but it's kind of tapered, and then it's curved, depending on which side you use. So it allows you to get all of the bottom lashes, the inner lashes, you can build up the volume, but then it really combs through so they don't get clumpy at all. Huge fan of both of these Wonder Skin products. They're amazing. And this foundation looks gorgeous. It is the perfect amount of coverage, the perfect finish. I don't know how to describe what makes it different from all of my other foundations, but it just is. To the eye, I can see a difference with my skin. First impression, I haven't worn it all day, so I need to play around with it, use it a couple times before I give you my true full review. But just applying it today and having it on for a couple hours, I think it looks so pretty. And I do think it made a difference that I used this brush, the 55 foundation brush, because it's fluffier. Yes, it is going to drink some of the product. You may not like that, but it shears out the formula so that it doesn't lay this thick coat of foundation on your skin. I think with any sort of glowy, dewy finish foundation, less is always more. And in this case, this was the perfect combination. I really feel like it evened out my skin tone, but when I looked closely, it just looked like skin. Like that perfect, soft, like a luminous matte is how I would describe the finish. Really pretty. So I love this. I love a good nude lip. Who doesn't? This combination is amazing. The Makeup Forever 1C lip liner is beautiful, as well as this Cherry Blossom lip plump from Tarte. I could wear this lip every single day and never get sick of it. It's 2 steps. It's really easy. I love anything that's really glossy and hydrating, and I do like the peppermint kind of tingle that it gives the lips. And that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching and for getting ready with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be listed down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.